This week, semi-final results.
Hello,
and welcome to Rex Factor, where we have reviewed all the Queen and Prince consorts of England, from Elswith to Prince Philip. We were left with 19 consorts who got the Rex Factor in the main series, and we are now well into the playoffs. In the first round, we had 12 that made it through to the semi-finals, with 7 eliminated. We then had 4 semi-finals, 3 consorts in each group. And from those groups, only 1 will go through in each group to the grand final.
golly.
It's serious time. So today we are going to reveal the results of the semi-finals. We've also been doing for Privy Councillors a Nearly Rexy consorts playoff series, which is for a group of 9 consorts who came close but didn't quite get the Rex Factor.
That is what we're doing, right?
We're doing that and the main semi-finals today.
Okay, and they're watching.
And we've got it on video, so if you're just listening to the audio podcast and you fancy watching us doing this, then you can do so. You'll find the link in the episode notes, or go to our YouTube channel to watch us do this.
Not sure about that.
About the camera. Yeah. It's a thing it's bad enough that people listen to this.
Well,
Let them actually watch it.
yeah. What I can't believe is that you're reading that and looking up there. You're really good at this.
I've got 2 sort of things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way that it works, same as the first round, if you were with us for that we have 3 voting groups for the consorts. One group is me, one group is Ali, and the other group is you, the rest of the world. So what we've all done is rank the consorts in order of preference, first to third, which is the case for both sets of playoff things that we're doing today. And we will combine those 3 to see who gets how many points. And the top one goes through, yeah. Now, for you and me, that was easy. We did it at the end of each episode. We wrote down a little card. We've got our envelopes here that we'll open up. I'm sure that you can remember who you voted for.
I can't at all, which is why I've suddenly got really excited about this. Because the 12 down to 3.
4.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
even better.
There's going to be an awful lot of names going.
There are, indeed.
Tournament football.
Exactly, it's tournament football. So for us, it was just a case of putting them in the order. For the public, of course, there are more than one of you. So what you did, you went on to Google Forms, put them in order, and then I do the preferential voting, whereby I establish the preferential order. So if somebody gets a majority in the first round, they come first. If not, we eliminate the one in third, reallocate their votes, and then we see who gets the majority. And then we do the same for second.
Such a good system.
It does work well so far.
Yeah.
So he says. So that is how it's all going to work. The only change for the semi-finals is that Ali and I have reduced the power of our vote by half. So previously it would be, so for the public it will be 3 points if you come first, 2 points for second, 1 point for third. Mm-hmm. What happened in the very first series of Rex Factor, when we also had 3 in each semi-final, was there was one group where the person that the public put in first, we both put second, and because we voted the same, it kind of almost made irrelevant the public vote.
What would have made it relevant if they'd have put...
They would have had to have put the person we put first in last.
Oh, so they need to really swing the other way.
Really swing it. And it felt a bit off that we could accidentally combine, and particularly because in the grand final, the public vote is final. It's only the public. We don't vote at all. So we sort of wanted to gradually reduce our influence. So we still have an influence. We can still change the result. Mm-hmm. But it's a bit more where we have to really quite dramatically disagree with the public. Whereas if we've got a bit of a disagreement over first and second, there's more power to the public. So public gives 3 points for the win. We give 1.5.
We've helped steer it, and then it's up to them.
Exactly. As it happened, I think in the first round, there wasn't a single group where you and I put the same person in first place.
Of this?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So it might not actually matter that we're separate, because last time we didn't vote the same at all. But in case we do, there is more power to the public.
Okay. Brilliant.
So that's how it's all going to work today. As ever, please get in touch and let us know how much you're enjoying the playoffs and who you are going to back for the final once we've done the results. You can find the links to all our social media profiles on our website, rexfactorpodcast.com, or email rexfactorpodcast@hotmail.com. So let's get started.
Nearly Rexy consorts. Group A.
So we're starting off with the group for the Privy Council vote, and these are 9 in total who didn't get the Rex factor. I think there were about 5 where you said yes, I said no, and then another 4 where there was quite a lot of sort of public calls saying they should have got it.
Edgarism,
exactly. It's a lovely phrase. So, in Nearly Rexy Consort Group A, we had Matilda of Flanders, consort to William the Conqueror.
Yeah, boat.
Eleanor of Provence, consort to Henry III, mother to Edward I.
Yeah, but
which was the most crucial factor, I think, for your attitude.
Otherwise.
And Elfgiva of Northampton, wife but not consort to Canute. She was your George Foreman, where you didn't give it to her because she was George Foreman, and then wished you had given it to her because she was George Foreman.
Yeah. I think I'm going to care least about this group. just to get everyone excited.
Yeah, good drama. Thanks, Ali. Lovely. Well, as I said, these are the ones who didn't get the X Factor initially. And so it's at the end of this, when we'll have the final after we've had these results for them.
This isn't this okay.
And the winner will get kind of an honorary Rex Factor. That's what this is about.
Okay. This is Europa League.
Europa League, exactly.
Okay, all right, okay.
So we are going to open our envelopes. Now, I've got here, yes, I do, that's good. Little spreadsheet where I put it all in, and Excel will calculate it for me so Ali can see what's going on. If you're watching on the video, there will be tables and graphics to tell you how the points are going. So I will start and open my envelope, and I've got them all nicely labelled now because when we did the first round recording, I mixed 2 of my envelopes up, and that caused me editing chaos. So, my results.
Don't look.
In 3rd place, I've put Elfgiva of Northampton.
I think I would have done that.
I think because actually it was really cool, but it just sort of went away at the end, her story. Like, it was really dramatic, the battles with Emma, and then it just sort of flitted off when it felt like she'd won, so I didn't feel there was quite enough there. Eleanor of Provence in 2nd place, Matilda of Flanders at the top for me. Which is actually completely in seed order, quite boringly.
Okay, well, what on earth is going on here? I've given myself little reminders as to why I've put them in each position.
That's clever.
Yeah.
So you've got something to say.
Yeah. Point in 3rd place, Elfgiva of Northampton. My explainer is I now want to put her top.
Right. Is that like your George Foreman thing, that whatever you think when you make your result, you'll think the opposite when it comes to it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she's really got to get me on the right occasion. And then 2nd place, Matilda. Bracket explainer pilot episode.
Okay. Maybe because she was like she was the first of the Matildas, and the other 2 perhaps sort of took what she did a bit more. Which at the time there was a lot of how did she not get it, and you wanted this to be my Edgar. But I think once we'd done Matilda of Scotland and Matilda of Boulogne, maybe then there's a sense of like, yeah, actually the other 2 were.
Quite like that idea though, that she is the first episode in a whole series called Matildas. And you just follow. It would be a good one when the 2 Matildas are battling.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got to hang your hat on something. So, no surprise, Eleanor. Who? Eleanor who? Eleanor of Provence. Okay, so she was Rexy. Oh, this is profound. Are you ready?
Okay.
She was Rexy in her imperfection.
Ooh. So she was the one, obviously, Edward's mother, which obviously would have been fairly important, but also she was the one that was going to come to the rescue when Simon de Montfort had got Edward and Henry III captured. She had that
and didn't need to use
fleet,
it. Yeah.
But then the weather meant that she didn't get across, so she almost had that great moment. Okay, so that means that we've got Elfgiva of Northampton in 3rd place with 1 point, but in joint first, Matilda of Flanders and Eleanor of Provence with 2.5 each.
Okay, so it does matter about the public.
Yeah, well, except in this case, not the public, just Privy Councillors voted for this one. So this was the bonus one. Incidentally, if you do join the Privy Council at this point, you can still vote in the final for this if you'd like to get more involved. So public vote, rather, Privy Council vote, will determine who goes through. Just thinking no, Elfgiva of Northampton can't go through.
Okay.
Because the minimum that one of the other 2 can get is 2. And the maximum she can get is 3, so she could get 4, but one of them's guaranteed 4.5. So, public results. In third place, Eleanor of Provence.
Oh.
In second place, Elfgiva of Northampton, but the winner with the public, and thus the winner overall, is Matilda of Flanders.
I mean, I just don't know. I just don't feel I know who she is.
Which one?
And Matilda of Flanders.
Well, her core moment was when William was going for his invasion of England, and then she surprised him by the boat that she'd commissioned, the warship that he then used as his flagship, and she was literally on it after coming round.
I think
she had some other cool stories about her. There was a sort of flirting with Harold Godwinson when he went to Normandy. There was all sorts of funny little legends about her. She's one of those where if you sort of go along with the legends a bit more rather than just the basic facts, then it's really, really cool. If you take some of those away as fiction, then it's a bit less.
Yeah, there's a bit less there.
I think my thing was she was an amazing Duchess of Normandy, but actually as a Queen of England, she's mostly not really there.
Right. Yeah.
But she is impressive. Anyway, so Matilda Flanders in first place, 5.5 points. Eleanor of Provence is still there in second, 3.5, just ahead of Elfgiva, who recovers a bit, with 3 points.
All right. I feel sorry for Eleanor of Provence, you know. Like, what? I don't feel like she could have acted differently in the situations that I remember in.
It's in terms of Rex factor, she's unlucky that it's just the weather.
Yeah.
If the storm had broken, she would have come over with a massive army, and that's Rex factor. But alas. So that is Group A, the Nearly Rexy consorts. Now,
Nearly Rexy consorts, Group B.
So in this group, we have Prince Philip, the consort to Elizabeth II, Sophia Dorothea of Sala, the wife but not consort of George I, the one that was locked up in the tower.
Oh, yeah.
Max Boneyman.
Oh, yeah.
And in the third seed for this group was Eleanor of Castile, who was, of course, the first consort to Edward I, famous for the Eleanor crosses. So, once again, I will open my envelope. Now, in third... Oh, this surprised me. It's usually that's this, isn't it? In third place... Apologies, Ali, I've gone Eleanor of Castile. I think because for her... the legend really does feel just like what Edward gives to her. I'm not sure that she herself had so much going on that was impressive.
Like he was so devoted in love, he was telling everyone how wonderful she was. She was like, I don't know.
It's the memorialisation, the Eleanor crosses and all of that, which is so incredible. Second place, I went for Sophia Dorothea, who's, got a great story. Well, not much fun for her, obviously, but this sort of, I was going to say Disney romance. It's more of a
tragedy,
more of a grim fairy tale that ends badly.
Yeah.
But not actually really Queen of England. Top for me, Prince Philip. He was close. I was close to saying yes for him in the original series. Lots that's very Rexy about him. He felt a bit less Rexy as consort, but there's so much there that's really cool. In his early years, the war, the survival of all his family dying off and stuff.
Have we had that before though, where someone is less Rexy when they become consort? Are we more forgiving of that if the consort is female?
I wonder if perhaps it's the fact that he's consort for such a long time.
Yeah, it doesn't play to his favour.
If he'd had 15 years of it, you maybe wouldn't have noticed so much. Whereas going on for such a long time,
if he'd gone out in like the 1970s as this war hero who was still on trend and
quite groovy,
I mean, it's the problem of living at this time when everything's changing so quickly. It probably wouldn't. You'd have if that were 1500 and nothing was changing. The same buildings. Yeah.
We had that with the Queen Mother, didn't we, as well? That we talked about that in the previous round for the main consorts, the sense that perhaps the recency bias working against them.
Yeah.
We can't put them in so much perspective. Anyway, so no change actually in the seeding order. Philip currently in first, Sophia Dorothea of Sala, and then Eleanor of Castile. But, as I said, Ali and I have not yet voted in the same way. Will that change now? Let's find out.
I haven't given myself...
You've got no notes.
I haven't given myself a note, but I
couldn't be bothered after the first one.
I did just leave myself a little gag, which made me laugh. Sophia Dorothea. Last place. Second place, Eleanor of Castile.
Ooh.
First place, and this is the joke, I called him Philly Cheese.
Loves a pun. Okay, so for the first time in this series, Ali and I have voted in the same way. So we now have, in joint second, Sophia Dorothea of Celle and Eleanor of Castile, both with 1.5 points, but Prince Philip is in the lead with 3 points.
Can he lose it at this stage?
He can still lose it, so if he comes third, then whichever one of the other two came first would
4.5
would win it. So that's what I'm saying. So we're not completely making it impossible, but if we do both vote the same way with this, and it's more actually the fact that we put the other two in different order. If we both put Sophia or we both put Eleanor in second,
yeah, it'd be more hard.
it'd be different. Yeah. Anyway, Privy Councillors can change the order, but will they? Let's see. So, in third place, Sophia Dorothea.
Sensible lot.
In second place, Eleanor of Castile. And in first, Prince Philip. So the public, I think for the first time ever in this series again, have agreed with you entirely, Ali.
Yeah, they're a sensible lot. They really are.
So we have in third place, Sophia Dorothea with 2.5. Second place, Eleanor of Castile, 3.5. But yes, Prince Philip, first, full 6 points.
Wow.
Which is I think that's the first time all 3 groups have put the same person in first place.
That reads like his report card.
It does. So we've got Matilda Flanders, we've got Prince Philip, who will join them in
Nearly Rexy consorts. Group C.
So, in the last of our groups, we have got Isabella of Angoulême, consort to King John.
Yep.
A lot of chaos as Queen Mother, particularly for Henry III, though she was off in France doing her own business. Philippa of Hainault, consort to Edward III. And Elizabeth of York, consort to Henry VII. Philippa and Elizabeth were the two that were kind of ideal consorts, but consequently didn't really have anything quite as Rexy to push them forward as you might like. Isabella, I think, is the one that ultimately became my Edgar. There was so much chaos going on, such a glitzy story.
Did I give it to her?
Oh yeah, you definitely did. I think my reason for not doing so was that I felt like it was almost like an unreliable narrator. We're seeing it from her perspective made her look more important and more like she was driving the event. So I think if it was from someone else's perspective, like the Queen of France, it'd have been like, oh, this one again. What does she want now?
She's trying to poison me. Oh, for goodness sake.
Just go and arrest her. What, she's run her off. Yeah, whatever. Fine.
She did try to poison her, didn't she?
The King of France, yeah.
Maybe.
But yes, when you just say it in bullet points, it does sound quite Rexy. Anyway, so Isabel of Angoulême, Philippa of Hainault, Elizabeth of York. I open my one first. Oh, yes, it is in there. Now, this one, I'm going to ask you to still do it normally, and I'll do the public one normally. I'm going to go first, unusually.
Okay.
Because it will make sense. So, I've gone with Isabella of Angoulême in first place. Now, my reasoning is that Elizabeth of York, Philippa of Hainault, I struggled in the group to think who would I put above the other for those two. Because they were both these ideal consorts, good, popular, do everything you kind of want them to do. But I thought, well, what does one of them have to elevate them above the other? And I thought, well, I can't really think of anything. And I thought, well, that's the problem with both of them. They don't have that certain something.
Yeah.
And maybe if we'd swapped one of them with Sophia Dorothea and we'd had 2 chaotic consorts and 1 ideal consort, then being the ideal consort would have been that certain something. And maybe I'd have put them in first. But with the 2 of them in the same group, I felt like they both kind of reduced each other a bit in my eyes.
It's something that's meant to stand out. And if they're not standing out.
Exactly. But they could have done in a different grouping, but against each other they don't. So Isabella in first. In the end, the way I decided between Philippa and Elizabeth was I felt Elizabeth's story, perhaps because it's more modern, it's got 2 trips to the sanctuary where the Yorkists are under threat with her mother, the princes in the tower, her brothers, the Richard III stuff, the marrying Henry, the mother of Henry VIII, all that stuff. I felt that she just had a bit more going on if we're going to make a film about one of them.
Yeah.
So
that's a good analysis.
Elizabeth of York and then Philippa of Hainault.
All right then, let's see what goes on here. I hope I've given myself a little Oh, yeah, I did. More notes. Third place, Elizabeth of York. And I've said at mercy of things. She was just at the mercy of things.
Yeah. Big exciting things are happening to and around her.
Philippa of Hainault. Philippa of Hainault. Too perfect. Weird. And Isabel of Angoulême just says Rexy.
So we have got similar, I think was it to the first one, we've got in joint second, Philippa of Hainault and Elizabeth of York with 1.5 points apiece. But in first place, Isabella of Angoulême with 3.
I think this is going to be another big victory.
So, Privy Councillors for the last vote of the Nearly Rexy consorts. In third place, Elizabeth of York. In second place, Philippa of Hainault, but the winner, Isabella of Angoulême. Exactly the same as Ali.
Very smart potatoes.
So we finished then with Elizabeth of York in third on 2.5, Philippa of Hainault in second, 3.5, but again, outright winner, Isabella of Angoulême, 6 points.
Nice.
Which means that our Nearly Rexy consort final will be the 3 top seeds, Matilda of Flanders, Prince Philip and Isabella of Angoulême.
Straight away, my brain reverted to which Matilda is that again?
This was why I felt confident it wasn't going to be my Edgar moment when I think about 2 weeks afterwards when you were saying, yeah, I think this is your Edgar moment. I said, okay, I'll admit I'm wrong if you can tell me what her name is. And I don't think you could. So that'll be an interesting final. Ali and I don't get to vote. That's just Privy Councillors. So the fact that Ali keeps forgetting who she is doesn't necessarily mean that the Privy Councillors will. But yes, there we go. Matilda of Flanders, Prince Philip and Isabella of Angoulême.
Oh, well, that's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it's a good group. Right. That's the Nearly Rexy consorts, but, of course, we want to know.
Semi-final A.
So, on to the main affair. First semi-final, we had Henrietta Maria, Catherine of Aragon and Margaret of Anjou. I've listed them in seed order, in terms of their original scores in the main series, though in their respective groups they finished the other way round. So Margaret of Anjou, the third seed, won her group. Catherine of Aragon was second. Henrietta Maria was third in her group.
How's she here then?
Because in the first round, the top 3 of 5 went through.
So we've got Gunrunner, First Wife, Warrior.
Yes.
Okay.
So, my results first for semi-final A. In third place, Gunrunner, Henrietta Maria.
Yeah.
I think it was always going to be quite a distant third in this one.
Yeah, I just didn't like her, I don't think. I don't know, I felt like as a person, I didn't like her.
It's just you.
It's just personal.
And it's you. That's all it is. So I'm choosing between Catherine of Aragon and Margaret of Anjou. My winner of semi-final A, Catherine of Aragon.
Yeah. I mean, it feels, when you say it out loud, of course. But I think I've got a thing for Margaret of Anjou. Well, let's find out.
We'll find out. I mean, Margaret of Anjou, Margaret of Anjou is an amazing story and such a definitely very Rexy one. But obviously, for me, Six Wives, Catherine of Aragon. We'll all be very surprised we have Henrietta Maria at the top of this group. But let's find out.
Third place, Henrietta Maria. Second place, Catherine of Aragon, Margaret of Anjou. I think she's the one that I want to see the film of most. I think that's right. Her? Yeah.
Yeah. Her? Okay, so we're back to normal in disagreeing here. So in third place, Henrietta Maria with 1 point. Joint top, Margaret of Anjou and Catherine of Aragon with 2.5. It will all come down to the public.
Excellent.
Who will go to the final?
Oh my gosh.
or Margaret of Anjou. I think Henrietta Maria she's Fear already out. So, in third place, Henrietta Maria.
Yep.
So, will it be Catherine of Aragon or will it be Margaret of Anjou? The first finalist for the consorts is Catherine of Aragon.
I tell you, I was really waiting for that to find out how I actually felt. Like, whichever way that landed, I was interested to see how I felt. And yeah, gutted.
It's a hard
Yeah.
one. It's a really tough battle between those two. And it's an interesting one as well because Margaret won her group because you put Emma of Normandy so low down. Me and the public put Emma of Normandy first, Margaret second. You put Margaret first and Emma, I think, fourth. So if you'd put Emma of Normandy third or higher, third or second, it would have been Emma in this group and Margaret would have been in Emma's group. And you just wonder the
dynamics of it.
With the group of the other group have suited Margaret better. How would Catherine have done against Emma? Of Normandy.
Canute's wife.
Canute's wife, exactly.
Not George Foreman.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, yeah.
Anyway, just to confirm. Final results. Third place, Henrietta Maria with 2. Second place, Margaret of Anjou, 4.5. But the winner and our first finalist, Catherine of Aragon, 5.5.
I think that's going to make the final easier for me.
Because Margaret's not in it.
Yeah, and now I've got a thing against Catherine.
You sort of had a beef with Catherine all the way through, albeit you put Catherine first ahead of Eleanor of Aquitaine in the first round.
Because I remember flirting with really liking her.
Yeah.
And I think, actually, I got this book back to front the whole time and she's brilliant. And then something happened and I'm back to not liking her anymore.
I think there was something I said in that episode, but nevertheless, you still put her first in that episode. But
It's come back, hasn't it?
back now. Right, so semi-final
We
A.
don't vote in the final anyway.
We don't vote, doesn't matter what we think, that's true, yeah. But whether you can surreptitiously sow the seeds.
Yeah.
Semi-final B.
So this could have been the group that Margaret was in if she'd come second rather than first.
I think should have smashed this.
So in semi-final B, we have Emma of Normandy, Canute and Ethelred the Unready's consort, the only person to be consort to 2
Yeah, Rexy.
English kings, Anne Boleyn, second wife Henry VIII, and Matilda of Boulogne, consort to King Stephen.
Oh, yeah.
You still have had some tough decisions. I feel like you like.
She's in the TV show. In the series Matilda vs. Matilda.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
The one that doesn't exist.
Yes, that one, yes, of course. Sorry. Right, me first again. So, my votes for semi-final B. In third place, much as I like her, but I feel like semi-final probably is the appropriate point for her to bow out, Matilda of Boulogne.
Oh.
I just think that it's sort of quite a lot was in the first sort of few years of Stephen's reign and before, but then she disappears a bit and she died at a crucial moment, which sort of meant that legacy-wise it didn't feel like she had as much to shout about. I was really torn between these two because Emma of Normandy is this amazing consort. She's one of our top third seed in the series and an incredible story. Anne Boleyn.
It's Anne Boleyn.
It's Anne Boleyn. And ultimately, my decision was that it's Anne Boleyn.
It's Anne Boleyn, isn't it?
It's Anne Boleyn. I love my Tudors, love my 6 wives, and I think she got quite a lot of Marmite-ness about Anne Boleyn. A lot of people really, really don't like her. A lot of people not putting her first because it's Anne Boleyn. So, not that I'm sort of actively working against that, but I feel like you've got to go with my gut.
Yeah, you've got to choose a side in that.
If you want a full-on who's got the Rex factor, I just feel that Anne's the one in this group.
Which is, do you know why it's odd to me? Is because it's comparison to Emma of Normandy or Matilda of Boulogne. Actually, they're really traditionally Rexy. What you'd expect a Rex factor winner to do. Anne Boleyn is there because she totally upended everything. You know, she can't compete with these guys on any of the levels that they do well at.
Yeah.
She's just got this incredible story. She's Anne Boleyn.
She's Anne Boleyn. But when you open your envelope, will it say she's Anne Boleyn or will it say something else?
Yeah, I just don't know.
Let's find out.
So this is weird because I've got. It looks like I've changed.
Oh, you changed your mind. Though.
I
Definitely, I do remember you changed your mind in one of the groups. You saying that you changed your mind.
So I've swapped who I've put in second for third. There's a little swap it over an arrow with an explainer that says it's about Rex Factor underlined.
Ooh.
So in third place we now have Emma of Normandy.
You've not got a lot of love for poor old Emma.
No. Second place, who bear in mind was in third and then I changed it at the very last moment. It's Anne Boleyn.
It's Anne Boleyn.
And when you said about Stephen's wife, I go, oh, I said, oh yeah, because I remember.
Who even is? Oh,
yeah. Like I really liked her story, and she'd be she's up there. She's probably my favourite Matilda.
So Matilda of Boulogne is Ali's choice, which means it's quite close in semi-final B. In third place, Emma of Normandy with 1.5. In second place, Matilda of Boulogne with 2. But top at the moment is Anne Boleyn with 2.5. But as I said, the public get more points than us. So only 1 point between first and third. They're all in it.
Yeah.
At this point.
This feels good. That we've steered it a bit, and but it makes no real difference. But also that little Anne Boleyn disagreement has just made it really tight.
Yeah, so it's very much in the public's hands who will be going through to the grand final. So, in third place, it's Anne Boleyn.
Really?
The public have generally gone against it. I've got to say, this one was I think the closest of the semi-finals between all three.
Right.
So Anne we'll do the stats in the Right to Reply episode, but she was the most first place placements for third place finish, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yep.
So there was a lot of support across the board. But yes, Anne Boleyn in third place.
Blimey.
She is out. But who will be through to the grand final?
She's out. Yes, of course she's out.
She's out. Anne Boleyn is gone. So it's between Emma of Normandy and Matilda of Boulogne.
I'm surprised that she's gone out first.
I mean, if she'd gone out second, then that's not such a big thing.
Then it'd be exactly what I voted for.
So, the winner with the public, and thus the grand finalist from semi-final B, is Emma of Normandy.
Really?
Emma of Normandy. So I feel like in the grand final, we've got to somehow convince you about Emma of Normandy, because you put her in 4th out of 5 in the first round, 3rd of 3 in the semi-finals as the public's first and first.
Oh gosh. She's turning into my Edgar.
So thankfully in her actual episode you gave her the Rex Factor.
But you didn't.
No, we both did. This is the actual.
Oh God.
Graham, everything's just gone topsy-turvy. I don't know who's who anymore, what's what.
The world's gone mad. Anne Boleyn is out. Have you not heard the news?
So it's a reversal of how it was before the public vote, actually. So in third place with 3.5 is Anne Boleyn.
yeah.
Second place with 4 points, Matilda of Boulogne. And the group winner into the grand final, Emma of Normandy, with 4.5 points.
1 point between first and third.
Very close group. How do you think Margaret would have done?
Well,
in Emma's position.
I think she'd have won it. But
That's a little bit of a revenge for Emma of Normandy, putting her in 4th.
She could win.
Well, she's come through a tough first round group, tough second round group.
I'm going to be stuck with her.
So thus far, Ali's not really happy with either of the results.
Yeah.
Semi-final C.
So in the third semi-final, we had Isabella of France, consort to Edward II. Elfrith consort to
Oh, yeah,
Edgar
yeah.
the Peaceable, the first crowned consort, Bet Noir of Dunstan,
Lovely.
and Catherine Parr, sixth and final wife of Henry VIII.
If this one doesn't go the way I'm thinking as well, I must have fundamentally misunderstood everything we've been doing.
Yeah, so thus far, the 4 first rounds and the 2 semi-finalists, you are yet to put the same person in first place as the public.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's any different in semi-final C. Well, we start off with my envelope. So, in third place, she's had a good run, but yeehaw, Catherine Parr. I really like Catherine Parr. I think she's really, really good. Loved learning about her in this series. She's one of the sort of breakthrough discovery ones, but I just think, Elfrith and Isabella, I just feel they've got a lot more going on than Catherine. She's unfortunate that she doesn't get as long as any of the others in terms of her consulship, because Henry VIII dies and then she dies in childbirth only about a year later. So her opportunity to really do the big Rexy stuff is limited. So it's very good for what she does get, and I definitely feel like she deserved a semi-final spot. But I think to be in with a shot for the final, she needed longer.
Well, I think you're going to be in trouble there with the public, but I am not a good gauge of that.
So for me, will it be Isabella of France or will it be Elfrith? Isabella of France.
Yeah.
I think it's just, Elfrith is great and a really great story. It's one of those where you do her episode and I think you really go, God, there was a lot there. I think for her, you really struggled about the Abbot of Ely having his bells pressed with tongs and horses and stuff.
Yeah,
It
that's
just
really
threw
stuck
you
with
so
me, that.
completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was really interesting. But yeah, Isabel, I think, just stands out, I think, when you compare to the other two.
What else has Elfrith done other than kill the bishop?
Other than the bishop, the Abbot of Ely. She was the first crowned consort, the first one crowned and anointed, written
Edgar.
as Queen Edgar, Bet Noir of Dunstan. She murders her stepson Edward the Martyr to get Ethelred on the throne, is regent for quite a while. There was the story about her first husband and whether Edgar took him off to the woods because he lied about how hot she was.
The bishop again, that guy.
Yes, the one that you thought was the bishop of wherever, and then there was this other thing about
She's the hottest thing going,
yeah.
and the bishop nicks her, and then she murders the bishop and her son, and it all yeah. Okay.
There's a lot going on,
Yeah, there is a lot going on there. I think that might be quite attractive to me.
but for me, Isabella had more going on.
Okay. Oh no, I tell a lie. She's in last place. Elfrith. Yeah, no explainers here because not necessary. First place, it's Isabella of France. But Catherine Parr, I do like Catherine Parr, but when you're up against Isabella of France, and who was I gutted about? Margaret, one of the
Margaret
Margaret of Anjou. And yeah, I like them a lot. Who was the other Margaret then? Who's Stephen's Margaret?
Matilda.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Edward's second wife was Margaret of France.
I'm just going to stop listening at this point.
No.
So that gives us.
That gives us joint second, Elfrith and Catherine Parr 1.5, but top at the moment, Isabella of France with 3.
So it could still happen.
Can still happen if the public put Isabella in fourth. Then if I put her in fourth, then she's really in trouble. If they put her in third, in last place, Isabella will still not make it through. So she does need to come at least second.
Okay.
So the public votes for semi-final C.
And if she comes second, she's through.
Yes, because she'd then have 5 points, and the maximum for the other two is 4.5.
Okay, so that's the reveal here, isn't
it? Yeah. I was just thinking, all right, so do I lead with second or in third place, Catherine Parr?
Really, I told you you'd be in trouble with the public, and you weren't. You're
I
right.
wasn't. I mean, you only put her in second though, which wasn't dramatically higher than.
No, but that's what I mean. It's Isabella.
Second place, Elfrith. first place, Isabella of France.
Okay.
We'll do the stats, as I said, in the Right to Reply episode, but I think this was the biggest winning margin for Isabella, which was also the case in the first round. So,
I mean, I'm pleased she's through. Catherine Parr.
So third place, Catherine Parr, 2.5 points. Elfrith in second, 3.5, and Isabella of France top. Perfect 6.
All right. Brilliant.
Semi-final D.
So the last group, the last result.
Yeah.
So we had Eleanor of Aquitaine, Queen Consort to Henry II, Caroline of Ansbach, Consort to George II, and Ethelfled, Lady of the Mercians, sort of consort to the Lord of the Mercians, sort of lady ruler, helper, sister to Edward the Elder.
The question mark over why we did her at all, but
Bit of the question mark over that, but you know, she's in it,
and she's in it.
and she's in it. So let's find out our final finalist. My vote first.
I reckon you've done it in. Oh no, you've swapped 2 and 3 round.
In third place, I have put Ethelfled, Lady of the Mercians. I mean, she's such a Rexy subject. She is brilliant, and I really, really like her. But I did ultimately start to feel that. I think, particularly when you get to this point, I'm that question mark over the consort nature. I just thought, I feel like Caroline of Ansbach, who I put in second place, was just a really good consort. She really did the job well.
And nice. I liked her.
And we didn't have a lot of those in the semi-finals. Obviously, Catherine Parr was one as well, but I felt like, yeah, I wanted to reward that for Caroline. Mm-hmm. But Ethelfled, Rexy, absolutely. But Caroline, more of a proper consort. But similar to the last group, Eleanor of Aquitaine, I think, just romps home for me in this one.
Yeah.
So, Eleanor of Aquitaine, Caroline of Ansbach, Ethelfled, Lady of the Mercians. Same order for me as the seeding.
Huh. I was just seeing if that was a note, but it wasn't. It was me. In third place, it's exactly the same as you. Ethelfled, Lady of the Mercians. In second place, same as you, Caroline of Ansbach. So in first place is, it's Eleanor of Aquitaine.
It's Eleanor of Aquitaine. So currently we have got Ethelfled in third with 1 point, Caroline in second with 2, and Eleanor top with 3. Will Eleanor be another perfect 6? Let's see what the public think in our final result. In third place, Caroline of Ansbach.
Oh.
Second place, Ethelfled, Lady of the Mercians. But the winner with the public and overall, it's Eleanor of Aquitaine.
Okay, so what does that do to Ethelfled? Does she come second now?
So,
because they're waiting. Oh!
well, it means Eleanor is top with the perfect 6. Caroline of Ansbach and Ethelfled both have 3, but... Oh, clicking outside the box again. In the event of a tie, the public vote takes precedence. So Ethelfled comes second.
Okay.
Caroline comes third.
Okay. So...
But only Eleanor goes through.
So are they actually going through on their seed? No, they're not. It's helped Ethelfled.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So Eleanor of Aquitaine wins semi-final D, and that means we have our grand final confirmed. Catherine of Aragon, Emma of Normandy, Isabella of France, and Eleanor of Aquitaine.
Isabella of France, if you put the other one that I like in there...
Margaret of Anjou. She'd be there instead of Emma of Normandy. Yeah. Or instead of Catherine of Aragon.
I think the fact that we haven't got her in there makes it easier, because then
although you're not voting, remember. So how the public feel, because as I said, you've been voting against Emma of Normandy, but the public has been voting for.
But I reckon it will help the cause of those medieval Rexy warrior type consorts not having 2 of them.
Yeah.
in the same way that how you voted in one of those previous
Yeah.
rounds. So hopefully she'll stand out.
But yes, that's going to be a fascinating final. We've got one of the 6 wives of Henry VIII.
Do we not get to talk about them at all?
Well, we'll do the grand final. We'll do an episode
Okay.
in the normal way. We just won't
Yeah,
vote
alright.
at the end of it. So we've got Catherine of Aragon, one of the 6 wives, Emma of Normandy, Saxon and Viking consort, but from Normandy. And now Alice Bête Noire, Isabella of France, and Eleanor of Aquitaine. And the fascinating thing is, obviously, Catherine and Eleanor were in the same group together. Catherine's the only one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was
lost
hard.
almost.
Yeah.
So
That
we've
was,
had that battle already now. Maybe in the final people feel differently, but Catherine in the first round didn't come out terribly well against Eleanor, so Eleanor might feel confident of that battle.
I think the public needs to think really long and hard about Emma of Normandy, because
I think maybe they have.
in the battle for the final, all those votes need to be going to Isabella of France if I'm to get my way. If Eleanor is to be beaten.
So it will still be the normal approach of ranking. So we'll still be doing that for
Right,
the public
okay.
vote. So yes, so your first, second, third, fourth could be important. Is it going to be just a battle between Eleanor and Isabella? They're the two that were only half a mark away from each other in the scoring originally. In the first round, and you'll see next week, semi-finals, they were both the 2 big winners in their semi-finals in terms of vote percentage.
Yeah.
But Emma of Normandy, is she sneaking through? Is she
No.
the one that's coming through tough battles
I
and defying expectations?
I don't know why it's so childish. But you know, the thing I'm starting to have against
Emma?
Eleanor of Aquitaine,
Eleanor, okay, right,
and
yes.
why I'm Team Isabella now, is because I feel like there's so much mystery and hype around Eleanor of Aquitaine now. Like especially because they're a power couple. Does that mean we're unfairly overlooking Isabella?
But I mean, as I said, they're only half a mark off each other in the
Yeah.
first series, so I don't feel like we
Need to
marked her
let's
down.
make that. Let's write that wrong, shall we, everyone? Who's the other ones?
Emma of Normandy.
But
Catherine of Aragon.
Catherine of Aragon is the person who's going to destroy all my plans, because I think she will Bernie Sanders Kamala's vote. She'll cannibalise it.
Well, but remember that it's the preferential voting, so
Keep
those
reminding me
votes
of that,
do
yeah.
get reallocated.
Yeah.
So, if you're just struggling between 2, it kind of doesn't matter unless those are the 2 that are in competition with each other at the end. And which suppose you don't know, of course, so it does matter. But
I think I'd like. I think I'd like an upset, but I'm annoyed already that.
it's not the upset that I wanted.
Yeah, well, but also that I'm thinking like that at all, because it should just be
Who's the best?
who's the best.
I think I said, didn't I, in one of the earlier rounds, that it's not like the Premier League where we do it every year.
Yeah.
This is the once and only time. So it's not that Eleanor's won it 6 times on the trot. Let's give someone else a go.
Yeah,
This is the defining our final word on it. But that doesn't mean Eleanor has to win because she's the big name. You might
That's a good argument, though.
you might really feel that Isabella is the top one. It's just that they're only half a mark apart.
Yeah, and the fact that I'm even picking her out as like,
But equally, your preference might be for later. We've got, Emma, Isabella, Eleanor are all actually quite close. Emma feels like a completely different world. It's not actually that far away. Catherine is the more modern one. She's the early modern one. So if that's more your period, she's the representative, not just of the 6 wives, not just of the Tudors, but
it's quite a sad tale, isn't it?
it is. But there's also quite a lot of impressive stuff in there.
Yeah.
Europe's first female ambassador.
Oh yeah.
The first marriage to Arthur, growing up at the Alhambra, the regency for Henry when he's in France, defeating the Scots in battle, fighting
fair
them
enough.
tooth and nail. I think all 4 are worthy finalists. I think it's going to be a good one. I think when we actually get into the nitty-gritty of that grand final episode,
Yeah. I
we'll
was
see
just
that there are arguments in favour of all 4. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be between Eleanor and Isabella just because they're the top 2 scorers. Emma and Catherine have got a lot to commend them as well.
Yeah, I just slipped straight back into that Catherine of Aragon just
Wronged woman
wronged woman role.
Poor old Sansa
Yeah.
Catherine.
Yeah, no, there was loads more than that.
Remember when the English nobles got all a bit flustered when she wanted to send the bloodied corpse of the Scottish king to Henry as a victory trophy?
Yeah, golly.
Yeah. She reinvents herself with a bit of PR later.
Oh, I see. I'm liking her now. You can lead me a merry dance.
They are 4 great finalists, and it's going to be interesting to see. Our votes are now done. Ali and I cannot, other than obviously Ali telling you who to vote for, we can't actually change the vote. That will be down to you. So, in terms of the timescales, this episode comes out on Friday, the 13th of. That's not right. 6th of June, isn't it? This episode comes out on Friday, the 6th of June. We'll be recording both episodes next Monday.
Oh, yeah.
The 9th of June. So this final and the Nearly Rexy Consorts final. Also, for the very first time, we've decided we're going to be doing positions for all of the Rex Factor winning consorts. So we're going to do a round 1 losers episode and a semi-final losers episode, where, again, we're going to be ranking. So for the first round losers, I think it's 7 of them, and then for the semi-finalists, it's 2, 4, 6, 8.
Love that.
So we're going to have a position for every one of them.
So we end up with a league table.
Exactly. We get a final league table at the end.
Via tournament.
Position. Yeah, and it also means we get one more chance with each of the Rex Factor winners again as well.
Why don't they do that in sport? I'd love that.
But who's going to come 17th? I just don't care. I want to fly home. Miserable.
Yeah.
So we've got those 2 episodes to do as well. Also, next week we'll be doing a Right to Reply episode with your comments from the semi-finals and some stats.
Okay.
So you know how people did. And then, week after that, Nearly Rexy Consorts Grand Final episodes, round 1 losers, semi-final losers, and the final results will be published on Friday, the 25th of July.
Just in time for our Winner of Winners episode. What do we call it?
When we go to Ludlow in August, we'll be doing the Battle of the Champions. A live show in August, and on Friday the 15th of August, if you're able to come to Ludlow and see us there, Henry II, the winner of the first series, Robert the Bruce, winner of the second series, and then whoever triumphs out of Catherine, Emma, Isabella and Eleanor will also be pitted against each other.
And is there any voting in that?
For the people who are there, they will be voting.
That is quite the responsibility.
Indeed.
Because that's the ultimate of ultimates.
It is the ultimate of ultimates.
So really, the ticket isn't to see us, but it's to, if you need to have an opinion, okay. That's a good idea, G-Man.
Yeah.
Well done.
We should do that as a selling point.
Do more of these ideas. Do more of these ideas.
So those were the semi-final results. Please do get in touch and let us know who you are backing and who you think will win in the grand final. Go to rexfactorpodcast.com or email rexfactorpodcast@hotmail.com. Now, it's at this point I usually give a plug for people to join the Privy Council, patreon.com/rexfactor, where you get an ad-free version of the podcast as well as over 400 additional bonus episodes.
Golly, that is a lot now, isn't it?
It is a lot. But during the playoffs, we're also offering extra prizes. So the Nearly Rexy Consorts playoffs that we have the results for today, that is something that Privy Councillors get to vote on. So if you want to join the Privy Council, you can vote in the grand final for the Nearly Rexy Consorts. Also, you get to vote for what we do for Series 4 of Rex Factor. That vote's been running throughout the playoffs, and it will continue to do so until the end vote for the grand final. Either Scottish Consorts or the English Nearly Monarchs we'll be doing next time. So
Where's
those
that?
are Nearly Monarchs, not like the Nearly Consorts, but the people who could have become king or queen, but due to various circumstances didn't.
Like death?
Like death, or like failure in a succession battle, or
Okay.
whatever it might be.
And where's that vote held?
That vote is just for Privy Councillors, so if you join the Privy Councillor before the end of the playoff voting, then you get to vote in that, and I put the link in sort of most episodes.
Oh, right.
Basically
Okay.
for Privy Councillors. Plus, we are doing prize draws in each of the 3 reward tiers. One for people who've joined in 2025, i.e. during the playoffs, but also one for people who've been Privy Councillors from before that. And the winners get to have a Zoom chat with us if they want it. Plus, there's options for winning some animated show merch, like we've got T-shirts, mugs, beer mats, depending on what reward tier you're in. And those in the Star Chamber get to commission a local legend, which is one of our bonus contents, and to nominate a special episode that Star Chamber members will vote on.
Lovely.
To see if we do it or not. Oh, and also the Star Chamber members get to win a little statuette of either Henry VIII or Mary Queen of Scots.
Has anyone got those yet?
We've not sent anything out. We're going to do all the prizes. We're doing the Zoom chats as we go. We're offering them. But actually, in terms of sending stuff out, we're just going to do it at the end.
Cool.
So, as this is the results episode, and this is the second opportunity to do it, we're going to do prize draws again.
All right.
So, Ali, if you say the magic words, then I will ask Excel to do a bit of magic as well.
Prize draws always makes me think that you're getting a pair of pants.
Well, I mean,
gift.
if you can find some appropriate ones, then...
Well, ones that don't have holes. These ones, probably. Send you... that's a very different podcast, isn't it?
Different podcast.
Yeah.
So if you say some magic words...
Okay. Rex Factor! I didn't think that was going to happen.
sort of just kind of normal words, but in a slightly more magical way.
Just what's on the top of your mind?
Our prize winners for the new Privy Council in 2025, the Privy Chamber winner is Megan Hudson. The special episodes tier winner is Arta Singh. And the Star Chamber winner is Neves Hobbs.
Nice.
Congratulations to you three. We will be in touch. And for old Privy Councillors, old in the sense of before 2025, I'm sure you're young whippersnappers just like us. In the Privy Chamber, the winner is Jenny Wiltz. In the special episodes tier, it is Christoph Goebel. And in the Star Chamber, it's Eric Burns.
Well, Brill. Well done.
Well done, guys. So we will be in touch to offer you prizes and Zoom chats with us.
Do you say well done for something like that?
Oh, well, you know, got to be in it to win it.
Yeah. They haven't done anything, have they?
Well, they very kindly paid us some money and supported the podcast. And
just sort of like the random generator.
The magic.
The magic, yeah.
The magic, yeah. Yes. Anyway, well done to all of you. So if you fancy a chat with us or any of the other bonuses, then we'll be in touch and you can let us know.
Wicked.
So that's all from us today. Next week, Right to Reply episode, and then grand final time.
Blimey. Well, that was fun.
See you next time.
Cheerio.